foundation videos.
Face drawing with Special Agent Jacoby Pike.
Hi guys, it's Jacoby here, and I'm super excited to teach you some drawing today. So to start, we have to have some paper, a pencil, a marker or a pen, and then some colored pencil crayons or markers for at the end. Now I'm using a special paper with some dots on it. It just helps me to keep everything in line, but you can just use regular white paper. And today we're going to learn how to draw a face. So first things first, you need to kind of draw an oval shape. It doesn't have to be pretty because you're going to go over it with a pen afterwards. Then you're going to cut it in half, side to side and top to bottom. This just helps you to keep everything in line. Now you're going to draw some shapes for your eyes on that middle line. Then you're going to cut the bottom half in half again. This is the line where your mouth is going to go. All of these lines are just to help us measure everything on our face drawing so that we get it in proportion to the size of the face. Again, don't worry about anything being too pretty because we're going to go over it with pen afterwards. So we added a nose and a mouth, we've got eyes, now we're going to add some eyebrows as well. And maybe we'll draw the pupils in here as well. Don't worry too much about detail because again, we're going to go over it at the end. Now we're just going to add a rough shape for the ears, and those are pretty much in line with the eyes on that center line. It's kind of starting to look like a face, so this is pretty exciting. Now don't worry about drawing in the hair because we're going to do that at the end. We're just going to leave the top of the head blank. So now we're going to switch to our marker or our pen and start drawing in our final lines. So first we're going to go around the bottom of the chin. So if you want to make a little more definition instead of just a round face, this is when you can do that. And then we'll go up the sides of the head a little bit, but not all the way because we want to leave room for the hair, and finally the ears. Then we're going to go over our nose. We're going to go over our mouth. So if there's anything you want to change, you can do it at this part. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as your pencil. Now we're going to go over our eyes. As you can see, my pen doesn't line up exactly with my pencil, and that's okay because I can adjust it how I want it to be. Then we're going to add some pupils in there. That's the colored part of your eyes, or the iris, I guess. And now some eyebrows as well. Awesome. It's really starting to look like a face. Good job, guys. Now we're going to come back in with our eraser and erase all of our lines from before. So we don't need to keep these there. They were just to measure, and then it makes it nice and clean for when we want to color it at the end. If you want to leave that top pencil line so you know where to put the hair lines, you can do that, or you can erase it all and just draw it with pen. Whichever you prefer to do is totally fine. That's why I love drawing with pencil first, because you can kind of guess and then put it down permanent in pen or marker and then erase it all away. No mistakes. All right, it's looking pretty good here. So we'll grab our pen or our marker again. And now we can go in and add a little more detail. So we're going to draw some pupils in the eyes, and that extra little circle you can see, that's just a light spot in the eye. Often when you draw eyeballs, you use a white spot to represent the reflection of the light in the eye. And now we're going to draw some eyelashes because this is going to be a girl's face. Put some on the bottom as well. Awesome. Maybe we'll add some earrings, some fancy jewelry, and you guys can do whatever you want. If you want to add makeup or jewelry or glasses, you can add, you know, whatever you want to this drawing. Okay, so now we're going to start on the hair. If you left the top pencil line from before, that will help you know how tall to make the hair. If you didn't, that's okay, you can just guess. One of my biggest recommendations when you're drawing hair, whether it's for a boy or a girl, is to remember what real hair looks like. I know when we draw faces, sometimes we like to draw the hair standing straight up and down or going straight down to our shoulders, but real hair is actually very messy. Often it falls into our face or we have to put it behind our ears, and it's usually not perfectly straight. So feel free to make it kind of messy. Draw however your hair looks, or maybe a friend of yours how their hair looks. You can draw whatever you want. So this is what I decided to do with mine. Alright, so now comes the fun part. You're going to grab your colored pencils or your markers, and it's time to color. We're going to fast forward this part just a little bit so you can see the results right at the end. Alright, so I grabbed my colored pencils. I think we're going to color the lips first here. Unfortunately, I don't have any really nice skin colored pencils for any color of skin, so I'm just going to leave it blank and use the paper background as my skin color. Normally I would have done that first, but we got some lips, we got some green eyes going on. I'm going to color in the eyebrows as well. And I think we're going to go on to the hair. Coloring hair is always a little bit tricky. You can just color it like this, how I'm doing here, and just fill it in like you would color anything else. The other way to color hair that looks really good as well is if you follow the lines of the hair. So it's like you're drawing more hair while you're coloring. But for this drawing, I just decided to fill it all in and color it as much as I can, as quickly as I can, just so I can show you guys the end result. So now the hair is just about colored, and I think we're going to color in her earrings, and that about does it. So I hope you guys had fun learning how to draw a face. It's a really good skill to have because now you can draw all kinds of faces for all kinds of people, and I hope you had fun watching this video. Thanks for drawing with me.